Hey guys, and welcome to another lesson in our course for electrical design. In this lesson, we will learn how to prepare an architectural drawing for electrical design, and also we will learn how to organize our folders for any electrical project. Okay, so we would like to know the initial steps or the organization step for our project or any project in general. Okay. So number one, when we are working on a new project, we need to have separate folders. So for example, we have number one, a folder with the project name. Let's say you are working on 20 projects or 30 projects. You would like to separate them with a folder name. So we have each project with a certain name. So we have first a main folder consisting of group of folders inside it. So we have the project name folder, the main folder. Then inside this one, we will have separate folders. We will have an input folder, an output folder, and the draft folder. The input folder, it means that any input to yourself or any input given to you. What I mean by this input given to you, so for example, when we are working on any project, we will have architectural plans, we have mechanical plans, we have low current plans that are designed by a low current engineer, or it can be designed by an engineer like me. Then we have another folder for client requirement and another folder for interior design. So we have these plans, architectural plans that I'm going to use in design, and also the mechanical plans in order to see where the HVAC is installed or any mechanical parts to avoid any conflict, as we learned in the previous lessons inside our course. Then we have low current plans that's consisting of, which is designed by low current engineer. These contains the fire alarm system, the CCTV system, METV system, and the sound system, and etc. Any related low current systems, including also telephone systems, data systems, and etc. Okay, then we have another folder for client requirements. If the client required special requirements for electrical system, let's say for example he needs certain types of sockets, certain types of luminaires, certain types of for example HVAC or AC split system, whatever it is, any requirements of the clients, I will put them in this folder. Then we have interior design. So for example, we have an engineer which is related to decorations, right? Responsible for decoration of the building itself or the system that we have. So this engineer will have specific requirements, or it will give you specific luminaires that you are going to use in the DiaLUX Evo, okay, or DiaLUX Red, in order to design the lighting system. So with cooperation with this engineer, you will be able to select the right luminaires, and you will have discussions with him in order to satisfy his requirements for the decoration. Okay, so all of this are considered as input from other sectors. Okay, then we have output. What I'm going to do, a folder consisting output of this design. So my responsibility will include number one, lighting design, lighting system design, adding luminaires, formation of luminaires inside, or adding luminaires to DiaLUX Evo. Then we are going to do the wiring, adding of switches, depending on what gang, as we will learn inside the course. Also, in addition to wiring, in addition to formation of circuits of lighting systems, then we have power system, which is power circuits, which includes the sockets, the air conditioning systems, the electric heaters, and etc. Then we have panel schedule. folder for panel schedule in order to balance between the three phases, selection of breakers, selection of cables, as you will see inside the course. Then we have single line diagrams showing the whole system when it takes from the main distribution board and going to each apartment or going to each part of the building. Then we have bill of quantity in order to understand how the quantity required inside our project and specification of this or specs for this project. Now for lighting system, this includes number one, DiaLUX report. Remember that we are going to design the lighting system using DiaLUX Evo program or DiaLUX Red program. So when we have the result or Lux report from DiaLUX program, I will need to give it to the client. So I will add it to this folder of lighting system. Number two, the lighting design itself, adding luminaires, AutoCAD drawing, adding wiring, adding switches. All of this is inside this folder. Okay, then we have another folder called draft. What does this folder contains? This folder contains any old design. So for example, if I did the initial design for all of this, and then after I send it to the site engineer or the engineer related to the constructing company, then this engineer tells me that we need to modify something inside the drawing. So after modification, we need to again change all of this to new design. So any old versions of designs or any revisions that are done on this project, we have to add it in a draft folder called a draft. Inside it we have revision 1, revision 2, and these revisions will have their own date. Let's say the first revision 1, like this, revision 1 dash, let's say for example 3 10 20 25 for example. Okay, so we have first folder, so I will know that the first revision occurred on this date. And if the engineer or any engineer, let's say we have different revisions, let's say 10 revisions. Okay, so if the engineers, hey, we reversed our decision and we don't need this revision, let's get back to revision 8 or revision 9 and use this design. So you have to keep a folder for a draft or any older designs or any revisions, because this is important. Okay, to prevent repeating any kind of design. Okay, so you don't need to have to do this design once more. Okay, like this. Number two, we have in this draft, remember that in DiaLUX program, this DiaLUX program will contain a project with the extension of DiaLUX Evo or DiaLUX Red program. Okay, DiaLUX Evo or DiaLUX Red program. And we will have also an AutoCAD file coming out from DiaLUX Evo. All of this, we will leave it inside a folder, CAD file from DiaLUX Evo and DiaLUX Evo project, in addition to the CAD file that we have added originally to DiaLUX Evo, okay, or DiaLUX Red. Okay, so this, we don't use them later. However, these files are important in order, if we need any kind of modification, we can get back to this project. Okay, so this is just an overview about the folder. So let's get out from this presentation and see this in real life. So if we look at here, let's say we have a project, new capital project 2035, for example. Okay, this is a project that we are working with. If I double click on it, you will find what I'm talking about. We have an input folder, out folder, and draft. Number one, input folder, you can see architectural plans, client requirements, interior design, low current plans, and the mechanical. Any of these plans or any of these PDF files, we will add them here. Okay, architectural plan, this is the administration building that we are working with. Okay, like this. Then number 2, you will see here output. Here we have lighting system design, panel schedule, power system, single line diagram, BOQ, and etc. And we have this for draft or any additional or any revisions, as we have said before in the slides. Okay, so this is how you can organize any project you are working with. The step number 2 is to do these following steps. Okay, let's go and see them. Step number 2 is preparing the architectural drawing for our project. So number 1, if you look at any project, you will find that we have, let's say, one DWG file, which is a AutoCAD drawing file. This drawing file can contain floors. Let's say if you are talking about an administration building, this administration building will contain first floor, second floor, third and fourth, and etc. So each of these floors, the first step is that we will take this DWG file and divide it into 4 DWG files. So we will put each floor in a separate DWG file to make AutoCAD fast and light. We don't do all of the designs in one CAD, but we divide them. So for example, we will take the first floor in a folder, second floor in a folder, not folder, in a DWG file, and etc. So each of these is in a separate file. Okay, that is the first step. Number 2, we will convert. You will see that each of these drawings, the AutoCAD drawings, in the architectural drawing, they have different colors. So we are going to change the color of all of these drawings into gray with the code 8 inside AutoCAD program, or code 252. This can be done by exploding the blocks inside AutoCAD program or changing the colors of layers. We will see how to do this right now. Number 3, we'll find in these drawings we will have different axes. These axes are helpful in the construction process of the drawing. Okay, not for me, but for the site engineer. So what I'm going to do is that I will take these axes and hide them inside the drawing. Number 4 and the final step is to lock the architectural layers to prevent any modification to it. So after changing it into gray and hiding these axes, we will just lock all of these in order to prevent any kind of modification to it by mistake. Now let's go and see how are we going to do this. Okay, so we have, let's double click here, and you will see number 1, input. This is the architectural path. So I'm going to take it, copy like this, okay, and go here to output, lighting system, and paste, okay, like this. Number 1, I'm going to double click on it like this. Okay, so I have opened, let's say close this one. So I have opened the project, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many projects we have? A basement, or how many floors? Basement, ground, first, second, third, and fourth. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors. Okay, now you will find in this plan that fifth, okay, fourth floor and third and second, first, ground, all of them are identical to each other in this building. You can see here this architectural plan exactly the same as this one, exactly similar to this one. So what we are going to do in these floors, and the basement is the one that is different from them because it contains a parking area and etc. Forget about the basement for now. Now let's focus on the important part, which is these floors. Now you will see that ground, first, second, third, and fourth, all of them are similar to each other, right? Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to design lighting system and the lighting system, number one. Number two, the power system. Number three, the panel schedule for one floor. And I will just say that all floors are typical. Typical means that all of these are similar to each other. The design here is similar to this one, similar to this one, because they are similar to each other. So I'm going to take just one floor, which is, for example, ground, and work with it, okay? So the first step is that I'm going to take this, like this, and you have two options. Number one is to Control C like this, okay, to copy, and then open a new drawing like this, and Control V, like this, okay? So you will have the floor as you have seen, like this, and it will take the same blocks. So we'll say okay. Now this is our plan that we are working with, right? Now I'm going to save it like this, and they here, let's say ground, okay, ground floor, like this, okay, and save. Then let's get out from here. You can see here ground floor, okay. Now this ground floor, we are going to take it, copy like this, go to panels, go to not panel schedule, go to power system, and leave it here because it's the same drawing, okay. Now go to lighting system. Here we have ground, then you can copy this. So let's maximize this. So the second step is to change the color of all of these, of all of this drawing, into what? Into the gray, right? Now how can I do this? You can see that each of these you can just do like this and keep changing each color. What you have to do is simply like this, go to layers, LA, and enter, like this. You'll find here all of the layers in this architectural building. So what the next step? Next step is that click on any of these and Control A like this to select all. Then click on any color of these. Let's say for example this one, and change this into 252 like this, or color 8. If you go here to color, here this is color 8, okay, inside the drawing, or you can see here 252. They are almost very close to each other, two gray colors. This or this will be suitable, and click on it like this, and okay. So you can see all of the colors here. But someone will say, hey, I'm looking for color 8, it's very difficult to find it. Let me show you something which is easier than looking it here. You will see that here you can type the name. Let's say if I type color, this one is 90, right? So if I type 90 and okay like this, you will see all layers changed into green, right? Now if I would like any color, such as color code 252 or 8, simply 8, and okay like this, all of them changed into gray, right? So the first step, all layers changed into gray. Now you will find that most of these drawing changed into gray. However, there is still some which is like this one, for example, which is not gray. Okay, this one is not gray. So what I'm going to do that I'm going to select them like this, and then choose color to be gray like this. Now if the color does not change, also if you click like this, it doesn't change. Let's see, it doesn't change. It means that this one is a black. So what you are going to do is simply like this, go like this and explode like this, okay, several times. Explode like this, okay, like this, okay. Let's say 3 times, because there are some blocks which are inside other blocks. And then click on them like this, okay, like this. And you can even change it here by layer like this, and skip like this. Now let's see. You'll see that these colors change into gray, right, as we have just seen. However, these symbols didn't change, so it is a black. So if we double click on it like this and okay, and then we select this one and change in its color here into by layer like this, and close, save changes. Now look carefully at the drawing. All of the drawing changed into gray. This is very helpful as it will help us in design drawing. So then we are clicking into save to save what we have just done. That is step number 2, if I remember. Step number 3 is to hide these axes. So how can I hide them? Simply if you click on them like this, you will see its layer is axis. So I will go here and turn it off by clicking on this button, or simply you can click on freeze to prevent any kind of editing on it. So freeze is much better solution like this. So it will hide all of the axes of the building. So you can see the building itself. You control Z like this, control Z like this, nothing happened to the building, only these axes have been frozen like this. Okay, great. It is helpful for other engineers which are going to work on this project. However, for me it will not differ at all. Okay, now what's the next step? Next step is that I don't need these dimensions for now, so I will click on this one. You can see axis name, so I will freeze them like this to remove all of this. You can see here this one, dimension out, freeze like this, and you will see these are related to layer 0. If I freeze it like this, it can't be frozen. Okay, so this is a part for dimensions. Okay, so I can simply control select this one too, this one. Okay, if I frozen like this, it will remove all walls. Okay, we can't remove this one. What we have to do is just select them like this and remove this two like this, and select these. Okay, like this, zoom in here. Okay, like this. Now, as you can see, we have cleaned our plan. You can see it is very clear right now. You just have to remove these samples if you find any interruption when you are doing the drawing design or the electrical design. If you don't need them, just delete them. Okay, so you have this gray plan which is clear for us right now. Now what are you going to do? Simply just take a new layer, LA, name it as architect like this. Okay, and enter. And then what you are going to do is simply select all of these like this, add them to architect, and then lock this layer, okay, to prevent any kind of modification on it. So we have added this layer. You can see it is very light color compared to this. You can see all of this is locked. So if you try to delete anything, nothing will happen. If you try to delete anything, you can see nothing happen at all. Okay, so this is how you prepare a plan for your projects.